again. Maybe you just wanna hear the sweet song. Do you want me to forgive again? Let it go. Release one more time. Give again. Love again. Live again. Fly again. Heal again. Forgive again. Give again. All over. Forgive again. Let it go. Let it go. I hear you telling me. Maybe you just want to hear the sweet song. Do you want me to live again?
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this morning's edition of Serendipity Sunday. I'm Asar, also known as Greg Stanton. I pray that things are well with each of you as you rise into this wonderful day. Hold on, I need to go and cut something down. I sound like I'm getting an echo in my home. Give me 1 second here. Okay, good. Awesome. We are in a new day. Today is Sunday. I pray things are well with each of you as you have risen into this day. Take a moment now, look around, make sure all is well and that you're in a safe space. And I want you to just take a big breath in right where you are and hold that breath. Now release it through your mouth and just relax, let go, and be present to what is happening where you are in your body. Okay. Take another big breath in. Hold that breath, allowing that breath to do what it's been designed to do. Touching every cell, every organ. Bringing it into alignment with wholeness and health. Now release it, relax, all the way down to the bottom of that breath. And when you get to the bottom of the breath, you just pause with a spirit of gratitude and say, thank you. Awesome. Excellent. Welcome to this morning's teaching. I pray things are well with each of you as you rise into this day. Good to see all of you who are in the Zoom room in the sanctuary this morning. Good morning, Trinity, Cheryl. Good morning, Michelle Reed, Michael. I'm sorry. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Mom. Good morning, Amir. Good to see you. Last week we had some challenges that those who were trying to tune in on the on the Zoom room weren't coming in, and they were able to come in on the YouTube channel. So if you have access to YouTube, you can always go to the Oyster Spiritual Center YouTube channel at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time on Sunday, and you will get this live. If you're on the YouTube channel this morning, good morning to you. Make sure if something is being said that is uplifting and encouraging to you, that you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you also hit the bell so that way you'll be notified when we're live. Okay, Oyster Spiritual Center for Divine Living is a ministry that is committed to teachings that empower those who are part of this community to live a masterful life. It's not about giving you spiritual principles or historical information that takes you back in the past, nor project you into things that be better when you get into the future. We live in the presence. We live in the present. We live in that time that is called now. There's no other time. Everything else is speculation. So we have to learn to seize this moment called now, to be all that you can be, to do the best that you can do right here, right now. That is what life is about. Being present to now and living from the now. So this morning, I want to take you into a teaching that has to do with the 7 spiritual laws of success. There's a book I read some time ago, and I want to share something out of it with you by Deepak Chopra. The 7 spiritual laws of success. If you don't have it, I do recommend you put it into your library. Now, you may say you oftentimes share with us many books. Yes, because I believe truth that has been packaged, that truths that transform, that are truths that we should familiarize ourselves with. Everyone wants to come up with something new, but there's really nothing new under the sun. For the scripture tells us that there's nothing new under the sun. And we have to stop trying to reinvent the wheel. And so oftentimes when I find something that I have tested out and it's been a blessing to me, when it's time, I'll share it with you. So when I was in my meditation this morning, I heard a scripture, and the scripture I heard comes from the book of Zechariah, chapter 4, verse 6. And the scripture reads the following. So he answered and said to me, this is the word of the Lord to Zerubbabel, not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord of hosts. And that's important. And I want to delve into that this morning. If you have your mic on, go ahead and unmute yourself. Mic yourself up. Someone has an open mic and I can hear it. So make sure you have either your volume all the way down or have your mic muted. Please do that for me. So this morning I want to deal with the topic of not by might. Too many of us are living by what we can do, the effort. You saw the image that I put forth this morning, and the image had to do with effort. And we all are told to give it your best effort. Now, there's some truth to that. In addition to giving it your best effort, you got to know that you're not resting totally in what you can do. In and by yourself, you can do no thing. That's the scripture we heard Christ allude to. He says, of myself and by myself, I do no thing, but I do the things that I see and hear my Father doing. Why is that important to me? That's important to me because it's when we are in alignment with Source, when we are one with Source, when we walk in the Spirit, then we can see that our steps, I got it. The word says the steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord. And that's a simple thing, as when you're tuned in, tapped in to Source, it's almost like coloring by numbers. All you have to do is look for the next number and it shows up. And don't look for 2 numbers ahead. Don't try to get down the road. Be present to what's right here. Take the step that is next. Don't be thinking about what's 3 steps down. Stay present. That's trusting the process. There's a Chinese philosopher by the name of Lao Tzu. He says, an integral being knows without going, sees without looking, and accomplishes without doing. You hear that? A spiritual being knows without going, sees without looking, accomplishes without doing. Now, this book gives us 7 spiritual laws, and today we're going to look at the 4th law. The 4th law of success is the law of least effort, living an effortless life. This law is based on the fact that nature's intelligence functions without effortless ease and abandons carefreeness. This is the principle of least action, of no resistance. I like to talk about rowing our boats. Many times we are rowing upstream. And when you're rowing upstream, life isn't a dream. When you're rowing upstream, it takes a lot of effort. Anytime you're doing something that takes a lot of effort from the perspective of zapping your energy, you're feeling exhausted, you're probably going against the stream. You're going against the current of life. Easy breezy does it. You have to know that. Okay, so we need to know that there is a principle of harmony and love that is required in life. When we learn this lesson from nature, we easily fulfill our desires. Now, in this particular chapter, Deepak Chopra is laying out the fourth law of success. He says, if you observe nature at work, you will see that least effort is expanded. That's why when you pay attention to nature, it tells you a lot. Grass doesn't try to grow, it just grows. Fish don't try to swim, they just swim. Flowers don't try to bloom, they just blossom. Birds don't try to fly, they just fly. And so why do we find ourselves trying to do so many things? I'm trying to become successful. I'm trying to graduate from school. I'm trying to get into a relationship. I'm trying to find the right person, find the right job. Trying. But the birds just fly. The flowers just grow. And if we are sources crowning creation, given dominion over everything, why is it that we find ourselves trying so hard? Because we have lost our true essence, the divineness of who we are. We living inside of the humanness. So that's important. It says in the Vedic science, the age-old philosophy of India, this principle is known as the principle of economy of effort, or do less and accomplish more. It doesn't say don't do anything. It says do less and accomplish more. Ultimately, you will come to the state where you do nothing and accomplish everything. This means that there is just a faint idea, and then the manifestation of the idea comes about effortlessly. What is commonly known as a miracle is actually an expression of the law of least effort. Now, we have to learn to operate inside of the law of least effort. The moment we have an idea, we go to work thinking in our mind's eye, what must we do? Instead of what must we be? That's really important. That's really important. So, nature's intelligence functions effortlessly, frictionlessly, spontaneously. It is nonlinear, it is intuitive, holistic, and nourishing. So we want things to happen linearly. But sometimes life gives you some natural setbacks, just like a plant that is growing, and all of a sudden a storm comes through. And that storm may topple that plant, may reset that plant somewhere else. But that plant begins to grow, or that seed begins to grow where it's planted. Sometimes when you uprooted from where you are comfortable and you find yourself in a place of uncomfortableness, isn't a sign that you are out of sync with harmony, but you're going with the flow. Learn to grow where you planted. So, and your destiny is always tied to a destination. Sometimes we want to get to a place, but we don't want to leave this place. And then you find yourself having to deal with a lot of things, and ultimately, it's time to leave. So we got to look at how nature just moves and gives us examples of being spontaneous, non-linear. We want things to happen in a steady progression. Sometimes a setback is a setup for a come up. Know that. So when you appear to be losing ground, you may be in fact gaining ground. He goes on, he says, when you are established in the knowledge of your true self, you can make use of the law of least effort. That's what the Oyster Center for Divine Living is all about. Teaching you how to live effortlessly. Teaching you how to live divinely, not living according to the principles of this world. The principles and the practice of this world are so adulterated. People take a little of this, a little of that, and they get this messed up situation in their lives. You got to learn a principle, stick with the principle until it prospers you. Least effort is expended when your actions are motivated by love, because nature is held together by the energy of love. Perfect love. It says perfect love is so critical. When you are mastering life, even when you encounter those who don't love you, you still have the ability to stand in perfect love. You let nothing disturb your peace. No matter what the situation is, what the circumstance is, you learn how to maintain your harmonious, peaceful self. When you seek power and control over people, you waste energy. Notice, too many of us seek power and control over people. It says, not by power or might, but by my spirit. There's a difference between power and the force. We want to learn how to live inside of the force, inside of the harmony of the energy of the universe. So when you seek power and control over people, you waste energy. Just even like recently with the new law that's turned back the Roe versus Wade, that's force. We see that there's a group of individuals who are forcing others to live by their truths, such as maybe their religious beliefs. But we were given dominion over our bodies. When we were created in the image after the likeness of, we were given dominion over anything that belongs to us. And so if a woman is pregnant with a child, that child belongs to her. That child, that embryo is hers to decide. Sometimes we try to force people to be where we are, to think like we think. But that's not how the universe operates. Source even gave us free will. And who are we to exact laws and impose them? We have laws that are exacted into mankind right now that don't make no sense to me. Example, now, to this weekend is Gay Pride weekend. If that's your expression of life, that's your expression of life. But that's not my expression of life. And because that's what you choose to do, that does not give you the liberty to impose it on me. I don't impose my lifestyle, my beliefs on you, but so many inside of the gay and lesbian community are really seeking to impose their beliefs, their lifestyle on us. I find it quite strange that we are in a society that will create a law that allows same-sex individuals to benefit from the employment situation or like insurance of their mates, but two cohabitating heterosexuals that are not married cannot see their person as their partner and get the benefit of partnership unless they're married. The laws of this land are so out of whack. There is no ma'at, there's no balance, and because we are living according to the laws of power versus the law of force, we're getting what we're getting. Now, I didn't mean to go down that path. Oh, I guess I did. Somebody needed to hear that. So we got to understand, least effort is spending when your actions are motivated by love. When you seek power and control over other people, you waste energy. When you seek money or power for the sake of the ego, you spend energy chasing the illusion of happiness instead of enjoying happiness in the moment. Never able to. That's the key, that you're not using force, or you're not in alignment with force, but you're in alignment with power, because you are not even able to enjoy the moment that you're in. When you seek money for personal gain only, you cut off the flow of energy to yourself and interfere with the expression of nature's intelligence. But when your actions are motivated by love, there's no waste of energy. When your actions are motivated by love, your energy multiplies and accumulates. And the surplus energy you gather and enjoy can be channeled to create anything you desire, including ultimate health. You can think of your physical body as a device for controlling energy. It can generate, store, expend energy. If you know how to generate, store, and to expend energy in an efficient way, then you can create any amount of wealth. Attention to the ego consumes the greatest amount of energy. When your internal reference point is your ego, when you seek power and control over other people or seek approval from others. Now, a lot of individuals out there this morning are approval addicts. Got to be approved by those who you esteem highly. The only person you should be seeking approval from is yourself. And when you're seeking approval from yourself, you're seeking approval from source. That's why Jesus said, I and the Father are one. He didn't care about the Pharisees, the Sadducees. He didn't care about what the crowd thought. He did what he was called to do. Those who followed him, followed him. Those who didn't. He wasn't searching for likes. He wasn't looking for a way to package what he do that he can gain. He knew that all his needs would be met. And that's what we have to come to the realization. When you're living in alignment with source, when you're living in alignment with the law of least effort, you live life effortlessly. He says when the energy field, when energy is freed up, it can be rechanneled and used to create anything you desire. Now, when your internal reference point is your spirit, when you are immune to criticism and unfearful of any challenge, you can harness the power of love and use energy. Now, that's powerful. There are three components that I want you to walk away with this morning as it relates to the law of least effort. Three things you can do immediately to put this principle of do less and accomplish more. How many of you out there this morning want to do less and accomplish more? Go ahead, type it in now. I want to do less and accomplish more. Just say me. Type it in the chat this morning. Now, he says the first component is acceptance. Acceptance is simply means that you make a commitment. Here, quote, today I will accept people, situations, circumstances, and events as they occur. You accept things for what they are. Okay? Don't be so quick to try to change what is. Know this, things are always working out for you. So however they're showing up for you, they are working out for you. It may not appear they're working out for you, but things have already worked out for you. Trust and believe. That's why we say, let the law fight your battles. So today I will accept people, situations, circumstance, and events as they occur. Like I make it my business, I try to at least, not to force people to do what I want them to do. And that's one way of doing it, is not telling them what you want them to do. And just see what they do. If they do things naturally that's not consistent with what you would benefit from, then you know they're not the person to do it. If they just volunteer to do it, or they do it because they do it like you, then there's a resonance there. And that's in relationships, we see a lot of this happens. One partner will take on the personality or do the thing that the other partner in hopes of winning. That's forcing a relationship. Forcing a relationship by not doing what represents your highest and greatest good. The best relationship you could be in is you can be you, you can do you, and they do them, be them, and there's harmony and cohesiveness. I'm in a relationship with a woman who is a Cardinals fan, and I'm a Cubs fan, but we peacefully coexist. Her being a Cardinal fan does not affect me. Even if they beat us in a game, it don't affect me. I like the Cubs. That's an example for you. You don't have to become what someone else is in order to have a harmonious relationship. Now he goes on, he says, here's your affirmation. Today I will accept people, situations, circumstances, and events as they occur. End of quote. This means you will know this moment is as it should be. Because the whole universe is as it should be. Everything is as it should be. And it will ultimately be as it needs to be. This moment, the one you're experiencing right now, is the culmination of all the moments you have experienced in the past. This moment is as it is because the entire universe is as it is. When you struggle against the moment called now, you're actually struggling against the entire universe. Instead, you can make the decision that today you will not struggle against the whole universe by struggling against this moment. So you will say, I will not struggle. You release, just like the breath. Do any of you struggle to hold on to the breath you're taking in because you don't know if there's a breath awaiting you? No, you take it in and you release it. Life is just like the breath. It comes, you extract from it, you release it. Too many of us are holding on to things that need to be let go. That's unforgiveness. You're not forthgiving. Okay, so stand in the moment. This means that your acceptance of this moment is total and complete. You accept things as they are, not as you wish they were in this moment. Enjoy the moment. This is important to understand. You can wish for things for in the future to be different, but in this moment, you have to accept things as they are. I accept things as they are, but I'm not complacent, so I'm able to create a future, but being in gratitude of the contrast of my now. When you feel frustrated or upset by a person or a situation, remember that you are not reacting to the person or the situation, but to your feelings about the person or the situation. Right. Your feelings is the thing you're responding to, not the person. These are your feelings, and your feelings are not someone else's fault. When you recognize and understand this completely, you are ready to take responsibility for how you feel and to change it. And if you can accept things as they are, you are ready to take responsibility for your situations and for all the events you see as problems. This leads us to the second component. So, first, acceptance. And the second component of the law of least effort is responsibility. Acceptance, responsibility. What does responsibility really mean? So he states a responsibility means not blaming anyone or anything for your situation. And you know what? We have to be conscious of that. People of African descent who have had a lot of things happen to us, we must today take responsibility because what has happened to us isn't happening to us today except in our minds. Now, some people are experiencing some things that they shouldn't experience. But the vast majority of people who are watching the news, who are listening to these kinds of conversations about what has happened in the past, is not happening right now. But if you go into the past, you can project the past into your present. That's why you have to stay present to right here, right now. Ask yourself, is it happening right now? Now, he says, responsibility means not blaming anyone or anything for your situation, including yourself. Now, that doesn't mean you don't hold people accountable. You don't hold yourself accountable. Having accepted the circumstances, this event, this problem, responsibility then means the ability, responsibility, to have a creative response to the situation as it is now. You don't keep rehearsing what has been. You have a response that is able to change that situation. Okay, I like that. Having accepted this circumstance, this event, this problem, responsibility that means ability to have a creative response to the situation as it is now. You're sick and diseased in your body. Be responsible, accept it as a contrast, and use your ability to change it. All problems contain the seed of opportunity. And this awareness allows you to take the moment and transform it to a better situation or thing. Possibility. You see that? That image on my flat screen back there? The place of possibility is in between your ears, in your mind's eye. Once you do this, every so-called upsetting situation will become an opportunity for the creation of something new and beautiful. And every so-called tormentor or tyrant will become your teacher. Reality is an interpretation. And if you choose to interpret reality in this way, you will have many teachers around you and many opportunities to evolve. You've heard it said, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. The teacher is not always a walking, talking, breathing individual. The teacher can be, oftentimes more than not, a situation, a circumstance, a contrast that is in your life to teach you in a teachable moment. Now that's important. Whenever confronted by a tyrant or tormentor, he says, teacher or friend or foe, they all mean the same thing. Remind yourself this. This moment this moment is as it should be. Say that with me right now. You're going through something. Somebody who's tuned in, tapped in right now, 9 a.m. on this morning or 12 p.m. on this night that someone is listening. Whatever you're going through, know this, and I want you to say this. This moment is as it should be right now. It could be different, but it should be as it is right now. Whatever relationship you have attracted in your life at this moment are precisely the ones that you need. Whatever contrast you're going through right now. Acceptance, remember? Acceptance, you got to accept it, is exactly what you need in your life at this moment. There's a hidden meaning behind all events, and this hidden meaning is serving its own evolution. So that's the second one. First, acceptance. We're talking about the effortless, living life effortlessly inside of the spiritual law of effortless living. Acceptance. Second is responsibility. And the third and final component for this law of least effort is defenselessness. Acceptance, responsibility, and defensiveness. Okay. Which defenselessness means that your awareness is established in defenselessness, and you have relinquished the need to convince or persuade others of your point of view. We spend too much time of trying to convince others of our point of view. Sometimes you have to realize what you're trying to convince others of is the very thing that you're not convinced of. So you force people to believe what you believe. Because what you're believing in some way is serving your lower self, but your inner self, your spiritual self, is not accepting of it. So you go into this mode of trying to convince others, which is you're trying to convince yourself. And usually we then exert force. So the third law is a law The third component of the law of least effort is defenselessness. Now, he says, if you observe people around you, you'll see that they spend 99% of their time defending their point of view. That's debates. If you just relinquish the need to defend your point of view, you will, in that relinquishment, gain access to an enormous amount of energy that you have been previously wasted. That's why I don't get into arguments and debates about what I believe. The moment I sense there's a level of resistance, I let them have it. They can have it. But even in myself, if someone is sharing something with me that brings a level of resistance to it, I ask myself, is this resistance because it's different than what I've been accustomed to? And in my desire to grow, I have to know. And if you already know all that you think there is to know, then you won't grow. You grow by encountering new information and interpreting it for what it means to you at this point in your life. He says, when you become defensive, blame others, and do not accept and surrender to the moment, your life meets resistance. It's like turning your boat around and now you're rowing upstream. You got resistance. And anytime there's resistance, you will ultimately tire. When there's resistance, it takes a lot of more energy to get going. Okay? Anytime you encounter resistance, recognize that if you force this situation, the resistance will only increase. You don't want to stand rigid like a tall oak that cracks and collapses in the storm. Instead, you want to be flexible like the willow, like a reed that bends and with the storm and it survives. You have to bend and not break. But if you refuse to bend, you will break. Completely desist from defending your point of view. Start today. Don't defend your point of view. If you got a point of view, if you have a position, stand on it. Okay? When you have no point to defend, you do not allow the birth of an argument. If you do this consistently, you will stop fighting and resisting. You will fully experience the present, which is a gift. Someone once told me that the past is history, the future is a mystery, and this moment is a gift. That is why this moment is called present. Isn't that wonderful? If you embrace the present and become one with it and merge with it, you will experience a fire, a glow, a sparkle, an ecstasy throbbing in every living sentiment of your being. You will actually glow. Your resonance, your luminosity will increase. As you begin to experience the exaltation of spirit in everything that is alive, as you become intimate with it, joy will be born, and you will drop the terrible burdens and encumbrances of defensive resentment, hurtfulness. Only then will you become lighthearted, carefree, joyous, and free. In this moment, or in this joy, he says, simple freedom, you will know without any doubt in your heart that what you want is available to you. So let's talk about, as we prepare to wrap up, the application. Information without application is wasteful. Okay, so you will put the law of least effort into effect by making a commitment to the following steps this week. First, I want you to, say, I will practice acceptance. See, some of you are lazy right now. You won't even say it. If you won't say it, you won't be it. So do it with me. I will practice I will practice acceptance. Today I will accept people, situations, circumstances, and events as they occur. I will know that this moment is as it should be, because the whole universe is as it should be. I will not struggle against the whole universe by struggling against this moment. My acceptance is total and complete. I accept things as they are, this moment, not as I wish they were. I accept them as they are. That doesn't lead you to complacent. It says, in whatever state you're in, be content. It doesn't say you're going to become complacent, but at least accept this moment for what the moment is. The second thing this week that you're going to apply is, having accepted things as they are, you will take responsibility for your situation and for all those events that you see as problems or contrast. You take responsibility for all the contrast. I prefer to use contrast instead of problems. Contrast says it's something I don't really want to experience, but I accept that it is something I am experiencing. I know that taking responsibility means not blaming anyone or anything for my situation. Just take responsibility. Okay? And this includes for yourself. I also know that every problem every contrast is an opportunity in disguise. And this alertness to opportunities allow me to take this moment and transform it into a greater benefit, transmuting contrast into something beautiful, into a new possibility, knowing that I will have many teachers show up this week. They may not be living, breathing, walking, and talking, but my teachers will be the contrast that I experience. And the final thing, today, your awareness. So you have acceptance, responsibility, and defenselessness. Today, my awareness will remain established in defenselessness. I don't have to defend myself. The law will fight my battles. I will relinquish the need to defend my point of view. I will defend my physical being if attacked or threatened. Notice I said threatened, because I get the attack before it's an attack. When I feel threatened, I position myself to optimally handle that situation. So I'm not saying just let people run over you, walk over you. I'm talking about your beliefs. Okay? Don't have to defend your beliefs. Now, if your beliefs are not working, then you need to address them responsibly. I'm not saying that anyone should hold on to old beliefs only because they were the creed of our ancestors. If the creed or the beliefs are not serving your highest and greatest good today, you need to adjust them. So today my awareness will remain established in defenselessness. I will relinquish the need to defend my point of view. I will feel no need to convince or persuade others to accept my point of view. And I don't have to accept others' point of view. It's great gay pride. Now, I'm not going to attack anyone who has chosen a particular lifestyle, but I choose not to participate in it. I choose not to. And that has nothing to do with anyone who is practicing gay pride or a gay lifestyle. If that's their choice, that's their choice. But you can't force it on me, just as I don't force you to be like me. I like to use that example because it's a real-time example today. You know, we are being held hostage to the force of a group of individuals who want to impose onto us, heterosexuals, their lifestyle. And a lot of it is the result of perhaps in the past they've been ill-treated or things stated to them. But I'm not part of that. Just as I don't force on you, on individuals, what I believe, others don't have the right to force on me and you what they believe. So we're going to remain defenseless. I will remain open to all points of view and not be rigidly attached to any one of them. I will look to really exploit those things, those points of view that represents my highest and greatest good. So there you have it. Living effortlessly is the fourth spiritual law. Not by power, nor by might, but by my spirit, says the law. The spirit is the force. May the force be with you. So I hope something has been said this morning that has been uplifting and encouraging. We're right at the top of the hour. The book that I recommend, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, and we dealt with the fourth one. It's a practical guide to the fulfillment of your dreams based on creating affluence. Deepak Chopra, I really enjoyed this little read. So I've been had this. Sometimes I write the dates in the front of my book, so I don't. Oh yeah, I brought this book. See, and I see it to prove it that I had such a long time. See there, it says 11/6/1995. Wow, truths that transform. Always a present in your life. So that's a teacher for me this morning. So that's all I have. What I would love to do before we move on. First of all, let me say a couple things. Oyster Spiritual Center for Divine Living is a community of individuals that are not fostering a religious system, but fostering a belief system that says that we are divine spiritual beings having a human experience, and that we have the ability to master this thing called life, and the contrast that we have when we stay connected to source as divine beings. If this ministry has been a blessing to you and you want to be a blessing to it, you can go to the, if you're on YouTube, you can go up in the banner and there is a place where you can make a donation. You can go to the website, oasisspiritualcenter.com, oasisspiritualcenter.com. Go to the giving tab, click, and you'll see the different ways in which you can give. There's a way that you can transmute what you have in your hand over into the ministry's coffers. So I appreciate all of you who sow into this ministry with the frequency that you do it, without the manipulation that is often required, and that there's value that corresponds with what you give. You get little, then give little or nothing. But if this ministry is a blessing to you, give a significant seed. Now, a significant seed is based on you. For some, 10, if they only got 100 and they give 10, that's a significant seed. But if you got 1,000 and you give 10, that's not a significant seed. So look at the significance of your giving. That's all I have to say on that this morning. If you are not part of Oyster Spiritual Center and want to know more about it, go to the website, poke around, and see what happens out there. Couple things I want to highlight. Linda says, I greatly appreciate this ministry. And Linda, we appreciate you. Not only myself, but all of those who are part of this ministry, particularly our prayer community. Monday through Fridays, we are together 6 a.m. to 6:15, 6:20-ish. We start our day with a breathing moment, and then we move into a meditative thought, and then we're on our way. I will practice acceptance, someone says. Okay, that's good. What are the three things? Acceptance, responsibility, and defenselessness. Those are the three things we're going to practice this week. All right, I got a hand here. Good morning, Patrice. I have you on the board. I hope I didn't wait too long. I just noticed your hand is up. Go ahead, unmute yourself, and you have the mic, Patrice. Good morning. Awesome. Go ahead.
Good morning, Greg.
What's happening?
Oh, nothing much. The subject today, right in alignment with what I was thinking today about, like, letting go, like not forcing some stuff, and and I'm gonna think some more on it, and then I'll talk to you at a later date about it. But yeah, that was a good subject this morning.
Awesome. So I can kind of pick up since we've had a conversation without going into your situation. Sometimes we have a position on something, and that situation doesn't change, and we try to force something to be Sometimes we have to go with the flow. And sometimes when we go with the flow, we may feel like we're compromising our position, but we're not often compromising our position, but we're expanding our position. And so I'm going to look forward to having that conversation with you because I got a couple nuggets to share with you. But that's for somebody out there this morning, that you have to know that sometimes you stand your ground.
Mm-hmm.
Today may be the day where you make space for expansion. We got to always be willing to grow. A seed takes up a very little ground when it's planted, but that ground gives way to that seed as that seed breaks the shell and it begins to expand through the going forth of the roots, and then as that trunk begins to grow, the ground makes room for it. Everything in the universe works in collaboration, and that's why you can say all things work together for my good. Come on now, all things, even when they don't appear to be working together for my good. Then you have
Yeah.
backup stuff. You have backup scripture, backup affirmations that help you out. So I thank you for coming on this morning, and see you were where you were supposed to be. So this conversation added to the conversation you're having with yourself, with spirit, will expand, and you'll know what to do. All right.
Yes.
All right, Patrice, good to hear your voice. I'm down here in your town in St. Louis, Missouri. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Take care. I'll see you soon. Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Good. Okay, let me see a couple more hands. Good morning. I'm gonna come to you, Courtney. I'm going to Trinity. Good morning, Trinity. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Loud and
I,
clear.
I received every word you said today, and I just wanted to continue to touch and agree, especially when you mentioned um, the power and the power and control of others trying to control your truth. And one of my beautiful people I spoke to several months ago had an incident, and I had an incident, and he said to me, he said, "What are we to learn from this experience? Every time something like this happens, we're supposed to ask ourselves, what am I to learn from this?" So when you mention about being receiving and learning from various places and things and people, that's something that I have been living my daily life with. Is when I'm faced with a contrast, I ask myself, what am I to learn from this? Because sometimes that contrast will come back to you in a different form and manner. And that's the universe, and that's my energy saying, what am I to learn from this? So I
Yeah.
just wanted to share that.
And I appreciate that this morning because one of the things as a spiritual leader, my platform is filled with individuals, a vast majority who are Christian, who have the same expression or experiences that I have. But we have people who are part of Oasis Spiritual Center for Divine Living who express through other belief systems, and we make space for them. I don't try to force, and I believe that when they come to this channel, they come because this channel has something to offer them. So they're open to receive, open to accept. But sometimes, even when they come and they share their position, it helps me to expand what I think I know that I may grow. So it's the teacher always shows up. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And sometimes the teacher becomes the student in the midst of the student. And so I just appreciate all of you who will come on and share your tidbits of wisdom, share your experiences. We make space for you to experience what you need to experience. I let kindergartners be kindergartners, third graders be third graders, high schoolers be high schoolers, graduate schoolers be graduate schoolers. Masters of life masterfully share with us their lives. A couple things I want to share. I see over here on the YouTube channel. Good morning, Marna. Marna says all things are possible to them who believe. Belief is so critical. Luma says, "Well, I love the explanation." Good morning, Rael. I have to listen to this all over, and that's why I have it on demand. For that individual who on the YouTube channel this morning that says I can't see the banner, when we're finished with this presentation, all you have to do is go to Oasis Spiritual Center channel. And once you go to the channel, the banner, you can click into the banner and it'll give you a bunch of information about the ministry. And if you desire to give, that is out there also. Royal says, I'm trying to see how this applies to personal conversations as well as these spiritual debates that I see and that people will try to pull me into. First of all, we got to understand the platform of YouTube where we all encounter many of these debates. These debates are established just like television programs to be that shiny thing to harness your attention, and people get paid for your attention. They zap your energy. You don't have. I prefer to listen to a teacher on a subject who is expounding on that subject without any resistance, without any debaters. So I study all things. I'll read a book on a subject. I will listen to a teacher on that subject that I am in total disagreement with, but I listen for their perspective. I don't get into debates. I don't get into arguments because they zap your energy. And many times both of those people are engaged in that thing to make money. To hold you hostage for 20 minutes, because that 20 minutes held hostage on YouTube Live or on YouTube turns into money for somebody else, but wasted time for you. So you got to be careful with that. What I see is people gain info and then weaponize the information. Yes, if you gain info, it should be for the betterment of yourself, not to weaponize. I know a lot of stuff. I can blow some folk out of the water, but I don't walk around like a grenade, waiting to pull my pin to blow people out of the water. I listen to a lot of people. People have no clue what I know. I've been in this game since 1960 when I came into the earth realm. In 1972 at 12 when I asked Source to show me if it was real in my lifetime, and it has. But I don't have to validate who I am by putting someone else's down. But I'm not going to let you come into my space and plant a bomb. I'm going to diffuse that thing when you come into my space. You picked the wrong one today, baby. But I don't really get caught up in stuff like that. Some things are not worth it. Well, we're right at the top of the hour. I gotta get ready to go handle the platform for local ministry. So if you're free this morning, there is a ministry here in St. Louis called the Center for Divine Love at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. You can go to Facebook Live, and they have a practitioner of non-traditional medicine teaching this morning. So I encourage you to go out there and join me there at 11 o'clock this morning. Well, that's all I have. I pray something has been said that's been uplifting and encouraging. And I'm going to close with the very song we started with, Tapping by Charles Holt. And as you listen to this song this morning, you will be blessed. So have a wonderful day. Thank you for your time. I'm sorry, one more person. Linda, I see your hand. I want to acknowledge you. Go ahead, Linda, you have the mic.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for
I almost missed you there. Yes.
yeah, but I really enjoyed this morning. I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot. And the thing about, like you said, when you're having a conversation with people, be careful. Listen first. Listen to what they're saying, and be careful on how you answer them, because they want to pull you down with them because they're going through something, and we all are going through things. But it's like, give it to the Lord. Let it go. I don't carry that baggage. That's for his. That's for his to take care of. And we were talking, and so she was just so down, and I said, can I just pray for you if that's okay? And then she said, sure. So when the words I was saying to her, then she began to cry and everything. She said, thank you so much. I've been walking around mad for the last 8 years. She was mad because she was angry because she was married, husband divorced her. Didn't want to help her with the kids, but she was getting help from her family. I said, so keep your focus on your family. I said, he's going to realize one day that he missed out with these kids, not seeing them grow up. So don't hang on to that. Let that part go. Be thankful. I said, you need anything? I had bought some things for my great nephew, and so his dad didn't come and pick it up last year, right? So I said, okay, well, I have some things for your kids. You can have. And I gave her about 4 outfits. That's what I had bought for my great nephew. And she was just so thankful. So she stayed in touch with me, and she said, thank you so much. And I told her, you know what? I said, there are several churches you can go to, but I shared with her. I did mention Oasis because I feel that would be better for her. teaching wise, because like with me, I question everything that we talk about sometimes of my church because we're not on this level, right? And so, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's moved me in a different direction. I guess I'm waking up, I'm seeing things, I'm hearing things, reading books I've never read before,
Yeah.
thanks to you. So yeah, this is a great ministry. So hopefully when I talk to her again, I told her I would go with her. And she wanted
Awesome.
to go, I would definitely do that. I'll keep you posted.
And Linda, I want to share with that. Everybody needs to hear this. The word says, "Despise not the time of small beginnings," and a lot of times we equate that to money, or it really means this: where we start at is small,
Mhm.
and don't despise it, because there comes a point in your life where you may be expand beyond where you are. Now, some of us who are expand beyond what we are move from that place, but it's important that it's some like us who go back to that place to be able to share with those who are where we once were. And don't put people down because they're still there. They're not stuck. They're in the maturation process they need to be in. Let's make space. Let's move in love. There's one perfect love that exists in all of us. And so I'm not mad at a kid that's in third grade, even if they have to repeat third grade. Because if they master third grade, they're ready for fourth grade. But so many times we try to move people from where they are to where we are, and it took us 30 years to get here. And they just got in the game. So let's be a little more sensitive to where people are and respect people for where they are. Awesome. Well, thank you, Linda, for sharing that. Thank you, Patrice. Thank you all. Oh, Courtney, did I leave you? Courtney Bass, are you still there? Courtney, you can go.
Oh my goodness. I took my hand down
Okay.
because I wanted to give someone else the opportunity to share, but I just wanted to thank you for the message this morning. It was perfectly on time, definitely orchestrated by spirit.
Yeah.
I was kind of struggling the better part of this weekend with trying to force things in every area. And I had been flowing so well. And I just, you know, I just kind of missed the mark a little bit, but I noticed how it feels when I'm flowing and how it feels when I'm not.
Right.
And so it just becomes more and more just unbearable for me to just go against the grain,
Yeah.
roll the boat in the wrong direction. It's just not easy to do that for me anymore because I know how it feels to just flow and just allow and just
Yeah.
receive. So I just want to thank you for just, your message being right
And
on time for me.
in Star Wars, Luke Skywalker was told, "May the Force be with you."
Yes.
Not the power, but the force. And most time we operate in power, in our own might. Let's learn to walk in the spirit. Then you're operating in force.
Yes.
Peace. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of this weekend. And I'm closing out with this.
You are tapping on my head. Is there